Hello viewers and welcome to this special presidential election edition of TeenMOP. Ta-da! Currently, we are under President Obama's desk in the Oval Office of the White House, and everything around the vicinity of Washington seems to be quite stressed, hasty, and tense, as you viewers might understand with the fact of the looming presidential election on Tuesday, the 6th of November. And now I shall pass it over to my companion here, Right Wing, to explain the process of a presidential election and what it means to the people of America.
Okay. Well, I'll try to be brief, but basically, the way it is we do not operate under a direct system. Instead, voters vote for electors in the Electoral College. Now, there are 538 of these electors spread around the states, and if you get the majority of votes in the state, you carry all those electors. Except for in Maine and Nebraska, where the system's a bit more complicated, but I won't even bother to try to explain that. As a result, we see a lot of on the coasts of America, where most of the votes tend to congregate. California has 55 electoral votes, and it's the sum of the members of Congress that each state has. The difference being, of course, as I mentioned, that if you carry a state, you get all the votes. Currently, CNN is projecting that President Obama has 237, Governor Romney has 206, and there are 95 votes in play. Well, this is it. There's only a week to go, everybody, and the election race. Wait, is that President?
No. Is that President Obama?
No, it's okay.
Oh no, it's okay. It's just the average teenager.
Hey, what? I'm the president here.
So he says, but
How dare you?
there's a lot of states that are undecided, as I can see here by looking at the electoral map. First of all, what do you think? You've all been following it. What do you think are the biggest policies that will affect the election, across to the average teenager?
Well, first is the healthcare. Obama seems to have a lot riding on it about the unfinished business and stuff.
Yes, and it should be noted that in the healthcare issue, of course, the Republicans are all against it, and the Democrats, well, they're quite a bit for us, and this has been quite a change over the years. Has it actually been implemented yet? I'm pretty. I think it's
Obamacare.
I think they've started, but
yeah.
Whether this election will decide whether it will carry through, because I'm pretty sure Romney has said it won't be carried through under his government.
Well, certainly, it would definitely be. It would definitely be repealed if Congress fell the way of the Republicans. But yes, Obamacare was signed into law by the President Obama on the 23rd of March 2010, just for your reference.
I have a question for Left Wing. When did Romney actually say that he would repeal Obamacare if he was elected as the president?
Actually, I have to say he hasn't yet, but much like Mr. Tony Abbott, I think we can see the Republican Party doing, well, basically everything they can to get rid of it. Essentially, Obamacare, wouldn't you agree that Obamacare is the carbon tax of the American election?
I would say that it's much more popular.
Much more accepted.
Yes.
In that, not to turn this into an Australian political debate, but the carbon tax does seem to be quite unpopular in general, even though a lot of people say that it hasn't had much of an effect on their lives, whereas Obamacare isn't so much a tax as a health care, and that sort of splits the nation down 50-50, whereas the carbon tax, you'd have to say, there is a small but definite majority.
And since at the moment there is no specific health care fund which would be available for all Americans, at least I believe that this would be quite a good initiative for the Obama government to start if and when they get elected for presidential.
The economy. The economy is going to be is going to play a big part.
Yes, I agree.
The first debate on the economy, which it is generally agreed that Governor Romney won, did seem to have much more of an effect on the polls than the next two debates that were on broader subjects that Obama won. So does this suggest that the economy may be the overriding factor when citizens cast their electronically casted votes on Tuesday, the 6th of November?
A lot of Americans are complaining about unemployment. And I heard in a radio broadcast about a female who just heard Obama's speech, and she seemed very aggravated at the fact that she had voted for Obama. He had done nothing about unemployment, and her husband had been unemployed for more than 12 months.
Yes.
Really? That's surprising.
Yes.
I've actually heard that some people think that the economy has been improving
Yeah.
since Obama was elected. I mean,
agree.
like, if you compare the economy under Obama to the economy under Bush, well, you can definitely see the difference.
Well,
Yes, I would agree. And
Frank,
frankly,
you may laugh, but the economy under Bush really didn't hit the slide until the last 2 years or so of
So-
Bush's
The economy
It-
improved under Obama.
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
So in that view, I would kind of say that even though Obama under his government, the economy didn't seem too strong. To be honest, in a colloquial sense, let's cut him some slack. As soon as he pretty much came into presidential office, was when the GFC hit, and to be honest, we should give him a bit of a leeway for that because it was quite unfortunate.
Also, he had a lot of repairing to do after George Bush.
Well, let's keep in mind though that that America is still very much in debt, and they've got to look at ways at repealing that debt. At paying off that debt, because at the moment the debt counter increases. Your right-wing correspondent was in New York for a while and saw the debt counter keep going up. So whether it be by incompetence or disagreement from the Republicans in Congress, a lot of the reforms attempted by President Obama have been either watered down or rejected completely, and that has resulted in in debt going up. But the question has to be asked, is it because of hostile Republicans, or should it be the hallmark of a good president and whenever the reforms are good enough, he gets them through come hell or high water? That's going to play a big part. And Governor Romney plays up his experience as head of Bain Capital in the private sector, and whether the logic holds up that that's the best man to lead the economy will be decided by the American voters on Tuesday.
I don't know if Romney's connection to Bain has really been working in his favour. There are a lot of people who criticise him for his apparently... there are people who criticise him for his overly factual and non-personality.
Well, I think in the first debate, especially, it worked heavily in his favour. He was masterful when he was talking about the economy.